Now, this is a conversation that a lot of people like to stay away from. I'm one of those people because I feel like when you have this conversation, there are people that obviously are on the other side, different sides, and each side that doesn't agree with you is going to have something to say, rightfully so. I understand. That conversation is the quote unquote GOAT conversation. Who's the greatest of all time? Is it Michael Jordan? Is it LeBron James? Now, I think when people hear this conversation, they instantly, when somebody picks a side, they say that, let's say they say Michael Jordan is better than LeBron James. I think the LeBron James fans automatically hear, oh, LeBron James sucks. It's Michael Jordan and nobody else. I think that's what they hear. And in fairness, that could be what they mean by that. Or when they hear, no, it's definitely LeBron James over Michael Jordan. They hear LeBron James is light years, Michael Jordan's trash. I think that when we have, the reason why a lot of people, including myself, like to stay away from this conversation is because there isn't a middle ground. There isn't. Now, you can bring logic to the table, but a lot of times people don't want to listen to that logic. But this is a conversation that it's hard for me to shy away from, especially, you see, these Olympics showed a lot to me. Not just with basketball. We're going to talk about other sports soon, or other, outside of the men's Team USA in a second. But there was a lot of things that were answered to me during this Olympics. When we talk about track and field, we'll talk about that in a second. When we talk about how dominant Team USA is in swimming, until you give an inch, you give a centimeter, and you can go from dominance to disappointment. That's what I learned from swimming. In swimming, while Team USA, I do think is dominant. Shouts out to Kayla Decky. Shouts out to Tori. I forgot her last name. But shouts out to all the people that obviously medaled and walked away with gold and walked away with bronze and silver. But the margin of victory compared to the margin of defeat is centimeters wide. Millimeters in some instances. That's a good microcosm to life. But back to this. While I don't enjoy jumping into this conversation, because I feel like once you make a decision or once you give your opinion about something, the other side, whatever side you don't pick, stops listening, which I understand. But I think that it would be disingenuous if we continue to watch what we're watching out of LeBron James and not having a realistic conversation about, LeBron James is about to be 40 years old. And for the duration of the Olympics, not just 2 games, not just 1 game, not just the exhibitions, for the entirety of the Olympics, LeBron James was the best player. In my opinion, not just for Team USA, but for the Olympics, basketball. Now, I think probably the second best player, you can argue, I'll probably say Nikola Jokic, but LeBron James was the best, most consistent player throughout the Olympics. 39, almost 40-year-old LeBron James was the most consistent player in the Olympics. While Steph is the biggest reason as far as the last 2 games, LeBron James is the main reason why Team USA is walking or leaving or left Paris with gold. There were multiple times when every single person, even including Steph Curry, just what didn't have it. Look, before the last two games, Steph Curry, I think, was averaging like 7 points a game and shooting like 20% from three. I think LeBron James, I know for me, LeBron James is the greatest player I've ever seen. When you talk about, it's I think the biggest thing for me isn't the accolades. It isn't the trophies. The biggest thing for me is the longevity. And obviously someone can play for a long time. It's how effective and how good you are playing for as long as you have. That to me is the trump card in this entire situation. Now, I know Michael Jordan fans are going to say, hey, Michael Jordan played in college and that took away some of his years. I respect it. I understand. This isn't me decreasing my opinions on Michael Jordan. This isn't me, throwing Michael Jordan's legacy away. This is me saying, for as long as LeBron James has been playing, and since honestly like day one, he's been one of, if not the best players in basketball. LeBron James is so good at this age. There are people now more upset with the Lakers than they were before the Olympics, because when you look and you see how good LeBron James played in these Olympics, when you look and you see how good Anthony Davis played in this Olympics, there should be no reason why this team hasn't really, I know they went to the Western Conference Finals, 2 years ago, but they got swept. There's no reason why this team that has two players that's playing as well or played as well as LeBron James and Anthony Davis did in this Olympics, no reason why that team shouldn't be in a much better situation, at least playoffs and championship wise, than it is. There should be no reason that a team that has two players that played exceptional this year in the Olympics should only have not just one championship, but one NBA Finals appearance. It's the longevity for me. It's the fact that LeBron James has been, now yes, there's been ebbs and flows, meaning there were times when he was considered, and that's crazy when you think about this next statement, man. There are times when LeBron James was arguably, like right now, I think LeBron James is arguably top 10 in the league. You can argue top 7 or 8, but I'll say top 10. There was a lengthy portion of his career when he was by far the best player in the world. Like, it wasn't even close. Those Miami years when he went back, a lot of those Cleveland years, even though he didn't win in Cleveland before he went back, a lot of those years, it wasn't close who was the greatest player in basketball. So LeBron James's angle is top 10 to greatest his entire career. You're either in the top 10 or you're undoubtedly number one. And the fact that a 39-year-old player, about to be 40, gray is all in his beard, on a team with Anthony Edwards, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Anthony Davis, Bam Adebayo, Jrue Holiday, Jason Tatum, Derek White, Tyrese Halliburton, that Devin Booker, that team, he was the best player by far. If that's not crazy to you, I don't know what it is. And because of that, you see, before the Olympics started, remember I said that I don't think we're going to see a lot of Steph Curry, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant. I said that. I said, yeah, we shouldn't really see a lot of them because when you have the players that you have and you have the younger players, I think that those players are going to let the younger players play and let the younger players, lead Team USA to a champion or to gold. I think that was the goal. I think that was exactly what Steve Kerr and all of them wanted. You don't bring on Anthony Edwards. He doesn't have the sound bites that he has. And you think to yourself, yeah. He's our most important players, our oldest players. But that's how it was. Trust and believe. If you didn't have LeBron James, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant, Team USA might not have sniffed a medal. You can talk about accolades. Jordan has a plethora of them. LeBron James has a plethora of them. You can talk. When you're having this argument, you can have all the whatever your talking points are, whatever your bulletin board material, you can have it all up there. I think for me, and this is only for me, my biggest argument for LeBron James being the greatest player of all time is longevity. And when you look, you can say, well, Udonis Haslem, cool. And this isn't Udonis Haslem catching a stray. This is me saying there's a difference between playing for a long time and dominating for a long time. Again, I said it. LeBron James his spectrum is between best player in the league by far or top 10. On his worst year, he's a top 10 player. And he's about to be 39. And a takeaway that I got from the Olympics is, while yes, Steph Curry was important, Steph Curry, I think, especially those last two games, was the most important. For the totality of the Olympics, there was not a player in any basketball team that was better than LeBron James. Which is why, especially when you see the talent, I mean, didn't they play like 61 NBA players were in the Olympics this year or something like that? So you have NBA talent all around, whether you talk about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, whether you talk about Victor Wembanyama, Giannis, Nikola Jokic, Rudy Gobert, Bojan Bogdanovic, who went crazy. LeBron James, in my opinion, is the greatest player I've ever seen. Oh, man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast, new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.